in Australia, and I'm coming to you on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. And yeah, we're going to make some Christmas cards, or a Christmas card with the Stars at Night bundle. Now, I could show you some sneaky peeky things that I got, but they came this morning, and I'm just, as much as I'd love to, I'd already got some plans for you. So the Stars at Night bundle is actually going to be a retiring bundle. It's from the seasonal catalogue. This one here. Oh, it's back to front. Okay. It's a really cool bundle. It has one of our very, very favourite, or my very favourite, embossing folder and dies, hybrid type things that go together. So we'll play with those. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around. I'll swing back in a little bit to see you all. So I'll press this so we can turn the camera around so you can see where I'm playing at, and I can just sort of straighten up a bit there. Okay, push the computer back to give me a little bit more room. Have it nice and close so that I can actually see. So this is a Stars at Night bundle. It's photopolymer stamp set. It's got a Merry Christmas in it, which is the sentiment that I really like. However, there's a lot of people that may just want celebrating the magic of the season, depending on where you're at and what part of the celebrations you do. There's a lot of celebrations. I think there's about 14 different celebrations over this holiday period that's coming up. Okay, there is a hybrid embossing folder, which is this one here. It comes as part of the bundle, and then it comes with these dies. Now, what you'll see here, and I'm pretty sure I've shown you this before, is this embossing folder. Also, they're in a mess because I've been playing with them. You can actually pop this die here. Oh, wrong way around, caught. Into your embossing folder. And it will sit there, and then when you close it up with your piece of paper over the top, it will cut it out as well. So not only will you end up with these great embossed images, but you'll also end up with them cut out with this die. You can cut separately with the die as well. There's a die for the font, this wishing you the best and brightest holiday season as well. So it's got quite a lot of extra uses, lots of pretty stars, some pretty leaves, which is actually what I'm going to use today. And let me tell you, there's 14 different dies in there. So I've pulled in, I'll just put that aside. I haven't put any stamps on the blocks or anything like that. I've done none of that sort of preparation. I can hear cars coming left, right, and centre. It must be a popular time of the day. I've been making some cards with the Winter Meadow dies. I'm not sure if, let's see, I'll show you a sneak peek. I'm not sure if you can see my bags here. I've got a retreat on the weekend. This is the bundle that we're using at the retreat. And this is one of the packets of designer series paper that I've got that I'm using with it. So I thought I might show you guys something different, and then the girls, the team members that are coming, will actually have an extra thing that they can make if they want to. So I have used part of these. Now, I do like that we've got in this pack, we've got some coordinating pieces. So if you look at this, that's one side. It'll also blend with the back of that. But this piece here also goes with that piece quite beautifully as well. So there is a little bit of a glare. All right. And there's someone at the front door. Hopefully someone will attend to that. It's a mailman. That's okay. I've crossed everything. It's another parcel. Please excuse my puppies. They'll stop as soon as he's left. This piece here, which I find very, very cute. And look, there's a piece that actually goes with it. Oh, that's a bit glary, isn't it? Easy to see when I do it like that. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. And then we've got this piece here. And, of course, we've got some Christmas trees. And there are other pieces in these packs. And look, how pretty are those pieces of paper? Just a different effect completely. All right. So you don't have to use them for Christmas. It is a wintry pack. There are other actually, I'll show you. There are other elements that can be, that become a part of its suite. So like there's some foil snowflake paper. There's a beautiful ribbon. Actually, I didn't bring it. Oh, yes, I did bring some ribbon over. But there's a beautiful silver ribbon, white ribbon. It's sheer and it's got a nice silver edge onto it that you can actually get with it. And there's some of the examples of cards that they've made. So let's have a look. Oh, that's page 36 in case you're wondering. Now, all right, so I wasn't sure what color to use. I was thinking of this. I've got Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. I bought those inks over as well. So I bought this. Have you seen this? This is silver glimmer paper. We've all seen silver glimmer paper before, haven't we? But it's adhesive. So it's actually got sticky on the back, and you just literally pull off there's like a protective piece that doesn't want to move now on the back, and then you can actually stick it to your project. So you don't have to try and get messy with glue or anything like that. So that's really cool. All right, so I brought my envelope over because I remembered it, and I've got some basic white as well. So what I'm thinking, I really like this piece, but I really like that. And I'm wondering, they're still going off. Hold on one moment. Oliver! Okay, so he stopped now, but until you know, the next thing moves, as you do. So this is, I'm going to load this up on some blocks. This is the ribbon that I've bought in. This is another part of the girls' pack on the weekend. So let's see what we've got happening here. Oh, he's so very busy over there. I'm going to use this piece here. And I'm going to use my trimmer. So I'm actually thinking I might pop it onto, this is Pretty Peacock. It's one of the returning little colours that came back. It was always a favourite when it was in colour, and now that it's back, I absolutely love it. I do love the darker colours. They're quite bold. But then in saying that, I love the subtles as well. So this is an A4 piece of cardstock, which means that when we cut it, we're cutting it at 14.9 and a bit, so that we get two pieces the same size. And you'll notice all of those there are the same size. So I'll just pop them over to the side here. Here's my bone folder. This is being a photopolymer stamp set. It does need a piercing mat for when you're stamping, or some really good cushioning underneath it. And that really good cushioning could be a catalogue if you haven't got a piercing mat yet. The piercing mat is better, but if you need to... Oh, hello. Hey, Cheryl. She's been in the pool. All right. So there's lots of different things we can do with this. We can just cut it straight out and pop it on the front of a card, and it will make a very pretty card. Like, you all know that I absolutely love designer series paper, but there's some things that we can do differently with it. We can chop it up, because we all love to chop it up too. With it, the piece on the back, it matches it perfectly, so we can actually get away with using that to our advantage. So a normal card front, what we've now got is a piece that measures 14.9 down and 10.5 across. Hello, everybody. Looks like we've got a couple of people watching here, which is good. So with that piece there, what I can do is when I'm cutting up my cardstock, those ladies that are coming to craft tomorrow, my designer series paper, those ladies that are coming to craft tomorrow will actually get to see this card in the, oh, no, it's not tomorrow. I'm getting a day early. It's Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at retreat. It will be so much fun. You'll get to see this card in the reel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a piece that's 1/2 centimetre thinner all the way around. So that would be 10 centimetres by 14.4 and a bit. And you'll notice when you pop it on here, it just gives you that little bit of edge all the way around. Okay, not a big one, just a little one. All right. So that opens it up for us to do quite a few different things. We can leave this as it is. We can chop it up. We can punch out of it. We can do those sorts of things that we want to. I'm going to chop it up. Okay. So, oh, and I can keep that little bit. Now, nobody says we have to chop things up square. So this message is 10 across. Let's go with 4 centimeters as a chop. And then I'm going to go with, oh, let's go with 9 here. Let's try and keep and put the pieces in the spot though, okay? And this one here, I might go with 5, so it's not square. Okay, so now I've got 4 pieces, oops, and that's them there. So I'll just pop that up here. So I've turned my piece of paper into a jigsaw puzzle because now I don't remember which bit goes where. No. You can tell because you've got all your bits of leaves that are going to join together. All right. But it also means now that because there's little gaps in between it, it's really quite a tight fit. Do I want to leave little gaps? I haven't decided. Oh, I'm sorry. It's very bright. Let me see if I can get a bit of shadow happening. Block out some of that glare. I've got so many things here in front of me. I've got my box of stuff, my box of new stuff. How's that? Is that a bit better? No, it's just as bright. Okay. Probably should put the blind down. Is it too bright for everyone? I think I get some of those days that are just really pretty, that you just want to see everything. How's that? That's a bit better. That's better, isn't it? What do you reckon? Everyone think that's better? Let's move that back up there. Okay. Oh, that's heaps better. It's a little bit darker for me, but you guys can see better. So what I've done is I've cut them all up. So now what I'm going to do is I really like this piece. It's nice and big. So it's going to be my feature piece, all right, which means I'm going to turn this piece over and I'm going to turn this piece over. Do you see what I've done? So I've just changed the dynamics just a smidge, and I am going to butt them right up nice and close to each other. You can stick them straight onto another piece of white cardstock so that you can get them lined up quite nicely. All right, but it just gives you a little bit of a through diagonal there with it. All right, and because of the way I want to do this, I'm actually going to glue it down. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, there's like a little bit of a lip there. So that's from the trimmer. I'm just going to give that a bit of a smooth out with my bone folder. And again here, just smooth that one out with my bone folder. All right. So this one here, because that's my main piece, I'm going to glue it down first. Okay. So I'll just put, if it wants to come out, oh, it's going to play nice knot. Out you come. I think it's got a bit of a gooby stuck in it. It's a very official term for it's got a bit of dried glue in it. You see it? All right. Take your pick tool, comes in really handy here for this. All right. Give it a bit of a squeeze. You can see it there, sort of sitting there. And poke it in there. Let's see if that made that move. All right, I'm going to give up on it and get a new one in a sec. All right. Here's a new one I prepared earlier. Okay. So this one's going to come pouring out because I have had it stored upside down in my trolley. Okay, let's use this little bit of scrap that I've got here. There's two ends to this, so I won't use the scrap. On the fat end, you can use it to push your glue around, but you can also use it to smooth your glue out a little bit, so that way you don't have a bit squelch out the side, because this glue does not dry without staying sticky. So if I straighten this one up in that corner, the best thing about glue, you've got a little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to be able to butt that one straight up against it. Okay. It needs to stand up on its end for a little bit. All right, so we'll butt this one straight up against the side. That one can do the same. Now I may have got too close to the top, so I'll just double check it before I glue those two down. Yeah, I'm just going to take a smidge off the top of them. Okay. When I talk a smidge, I'm talking, there's your smidge. Okay. And I'll take it off this one as well. How did I measure it? I used the edge of, oh, what have I done? Did I turn you off? Oh no. Somehow my picture just on my screen disappeared. Hi Tracy, how you going? All right, so when I'm talking a smidge, what I did was I used this edge here. See that lip there of my trimmer as my measuring stick. Every now and then I get a piece of paper. You can do it with a paintbrush, and I rub a piece of paper down my trimmer. Just use one of your scraps. And I just get all the felt and or paper. It's like paper felt. You'll see it here. Get that all out of it and pop that in your garbage bin. All right, just makes it trim better, just so that you know. Okay, so that's that piece. So now we can, that fits better. Okay, so we'll put this bit here up next, because this is the second feature piece. All right. Now it's funny, we buy all these great big beautiful pieces of paper, chop them up and then stick them all back together again. I think you could say quilters do that with fabric as well. I've been known to do that in my time too. So, and I put it upside down, but that's all right. How can I tell? Because my puzzle doesn't match here. Hi Elizabeth. Everybody's visiting today. It's good to see everyone. All right, and I just stuck that on the wrong side. So what are we going to do here? We're going to get another piece. Okay, this is why you need extra bits of paper. And I'm also going to, because I haven't worked out what I'm doing on my inside yet, but I'm just going to stick this on here because I stuck it on the wrong side. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but for now it's just going to sit there so that I didn't waste it, because it's such pretty paper. So now I've got a blank spot up here. So I have a couple of bits of choice that I can do. I can fill it up with the other piece, which is what I was planning on doing, or I can fill it up with something different. I'm going to fill it up with the other thing that I was going to do. You could even put a different piece of paper in it if you really wanted to. You could just chop it up and make it all the same. So this piece here was 5.5 centimeters, or 5 centimeters. Was it 5 centimeters? I don't know. Let's measure it. Okay. Now we have to fix the problem. So using the ruler on my thing here, on my trimmer. So from here to here is 6 and a bit. So if I cut this out as 6 centimeters by, I cut that other one perfectly. How frustrating. By 4.98. 4.8. Let's see how we go. So we'll go 4.8. No, that was too small. 5. You know how you get all these scraps of paper everywhere? This is how. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. 5 by 6. Take off a smidge off that side because I made it too big. Yeah, I've got to take off a smidge off that side because I made it too big. So that was 5 by 6 minus its smidges. My golly gosh. I'm glad I'm doing something here, Lisa, that's good. Far out, Brussels sprout. Oh, it needs another smidge off. It's so much better when you start with the one piece and you don't have to try and make do, because when you're making do, it doesn't work. All right, Lisa, you're not allowed to recreate this on the weekend. The mistakes, that is. You can recreate the card. Okay. There. That is actually what I wanted to do. All right. And this time I put it on the right side. I didn't even think. I just went, I had one of those moments where I thought, oh no, I've done it again. But I didn't. Okay. So now I've made my bits of my jigsaw puzzle. I've got some extras for later for another one. Looks okay, but let's pretty her up. Wishing that I put these two around the right way. But anyway, that's a whole nother story again. So I could just stick this piece on the inside, but I'm not going to. I'll think of something else I can do with that. Okay, so this is a piece for my inside. This is a piece for my sentiments. This stamp set is just gorgeous in so many different ways. I do love the little Merry Christmas. There is some little, I think they look like olive branches. Oh, wow. Hi, Deb. How you going? From Texas? Gosh, I think we're getting Texas weather here sometimes. It's very warm. These look like little olive branches to me, and I've coloured them in previously as olives as well. So, but they're just really pretty. There is lots of different elements to this stamp set that doesn't necessarily scream stars, but there are a lot of stars to do with it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use those little the little branches. So I'll just put the inside bit away because I don't need it right now. And using my Lost Lagoon, let's pull out a stamp or two. So I've got my, just got a couple of blocks. So there's two different stamps when it comes to the leaves, and they're just going in two different directions. All right. Okay, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use Merry Christmas or if I'm going to do Wishing You the Best and Brightest Holiday Season. I'm thinking that I might go with Merry Christmas, but we'll see. All right. But first things first, I want to do a couple of these. Now, you all know how much I love my Winter Stella. All right. I should have brought over oops. I'm just going to grab another stamp pad. Because I think this needs some Moody Mauve in it. Yeah. Okay. So just stamp some of these babies, and I want 2 of each one starters. So they're for cutting out. Now I did put here's my envelope. Just while I've got the stamps out, I might as well do some decorative stamping on my envelope. Right. And my inside. Because it's always nice to have our inside looking pretty good as well. Looks almost a bit like Christmas tree-like, doesn't it? Like high up in the olive branch leaves. Okay, so what I'll do is close the art, and let's find the Winter Stella. I've moved all my trolley all around. Well, I don't know what I've done with it. I'll show you what I've done. Okay. I've set up a trolley beside me so that I can, oh, there it is, so that I can have all of my things together, and instead of missing stuff, I'm very blurry on your screen. That's no good, Chris. Is anyone else having the same problem? What I've done here is I've made it so that I don't forget anything when I try not to forget anything when I'm coming over. So I'll go back over here. I'm hoping that's changed the screen. Is it blurry for you as well, Lisa? My focus was okay. Let me see if this makes a difference. Oh, now you can see nothing. And how's that? Is that better? Because I'm looking at it, I'm watching it as well at the same time. So I'm hoping that just refocused it all for you. If anyone wants to give me the heads up. While you're giving me the heads up, I'm going to use my Winter Stella. I'll get a little bit of, about the same, all good. Okay, get a little bit of little bit of colour on my block so that I don't put Winter Stella on my ink pad, because I'm not a fan of that. Then using my Winter Stella, just get it so that it's working. You can come along and you can touch if they're olives, for me they're going to be olives, nice and ripe coloured olives, just something a little bit pretty. Just touch them. Now, to clean the Winter Stella off, you can do it on your hand, but you can pop it onto your scratch paper beside you, and then you can actually put some in your leaves just to make them a little bit sparkly, but it will also give them a little bit of a green colour because it pushes that ink around that's there. You can put some of the Lost Lagoon onto them as well and use it like a watercolor, but it doesn't make the paper peel as badly as, well, it doesn't make the paper peel at all, but it doesn't make the paper peel like if you were actually using water. And it just gives those leaves a fairly subtle sparkle, okay, which is always nice. All right, that's the inside. I'm going to do these ones before I cut them out, just because I can. And then I'll pull out the cut and emboss machine and stick it on the table and have a go at that. It's actually hanging out on the table beside me, though I've made room for it in my trolley, which is really good. So I used to have it sitting on top of the trolley, but I'm just going to pull out a little bit of actual colour for this one. Okay. Just because I want them to stand out a bit more. It's fairly subtle, but I'll hold it up so you can see it in a second. I'm doing the leaves at the bottom that are going to be at the bottom first, just so that they've got, they're not as pale, for want of a better word. They're a darker, bolder, greeny colour. It's almost like, it's funny, this colour is, when you colour it like this, you get almost like a eucalypt colour, like of our beautiful eucalypt trees, that grey, that nice grey colour green that comes with those. Okay, so we're going to cut them out. Now, because I'm not sure if I want it or not, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to cut one of the wishing you the bestest and brightest holiday season. I'll cut one of that out. This one needs a fairly big block, so I'm going on an angle. And this one I'm using our Pretty Peacock for. Yes, it is streaming live into Facebook as well. I'm using Restream. Have you ever used that one, Deb? So it streams live into Facebook and into YouTube at the same time. Okay, so that's that. And then I'll use the bit in the middle. I'm ignoring that. Oh, I forgot to colour in these guys. Sorry, we'll just quickly whip those ones through. Just clean that off. And it's not normally blue. It might be because when I started it was really quite bright, and it might be because I pulled the blind down a bit. So let me see if I put it back up, because the sun's gone off it. Let's see if that makes a difference. Mind you, to me that looks like it's now not blurry, but really like really bright, because it's absolutely beautiful here today. Just adding a little bit of green that I've got left on that block. This ink just washes off these blocks beautifully. You can just wipe it off with your chamois if you want, or you can run them in under some warm water. Warm soapy water cleans them up perfectly on most occasions. Doesn't get stays on off, I'll just give you the heads up. Yes, there are others chatting, so that's why I am on Facebook. So I stream this to YouTube, Facebook, and actually I've just started streaming it to Twitter or X or whatever they like to call it. So I'm wondering now if that's what's causing us some grief, because this is only the second time I've done that. Did it last week with my croaky voice. That was a fun day. Oh, I just grabbed the cut and emboss machine. What I'll do is next week's video I won't stream to X, and see if that makes a difference when it comes to whether you can see or not as easily. So, all right. So that's it. I store my, I sometimes pack my cut and emboss machine up, and other times I don't. My mats are atrocious and have been for quite some time, but I'm using them till they crack essentially. So I do need a little piece of washi tape, and I've got an abundance of the stuff. So I'll just pull out my dies. If you could see the rest of my table, you'd be mortified, everyone. So that one, that one, and that one. I'm going to run this through twice. mainly because I need 4 of those little flowers. Somewhere here is the edge of this washi tape, and it's seen better days. Okay. All right, so we'll just cut. It does not age gracefully, this stuff. All right. I think this one needs to go in the bin. Actually, I know it does. Okay, so I'm just popping a little piece of this dodgy washi tape on here, just so that these babies don't move. I'm not going to put on that one because just I can't get any more off it. Okay. Yes, Deb, we've actually got 8 watching today at the current moment. So that could be spread. That's spread all over Facebook. Or spread on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. So I'll just cut the other 2. We'll see how we go with that. Didn't plan that very well, actually. So I don't think I can do both of these at the same time. No, I can't. Got to go through twice. Now, I'll just bring this one back through here with this one on it. Hopefully it doesn't cut in too dodgy a fashion. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that's really bad. That would have to be one of the worst cuts I've ever done. Look at that. That is not how we cut it. Okay. So I'll just put this down again because I've got to stamp another one now. Oh golly. That was bad. All right, we'll stamp another one. That was the big one. So I'll do another big one. And I'll do another little one just because then we don't have, then I have an odd number, which is better. There's still a little bit of the Moody Mauve on my block here. So that's all good, and we'll get some green. It's almost pink looking. And there's very little of this left on there, of the Lost Lagoon. All right. Let's cut them out again, and this time I'm going to be a bit more careful. Alrighty. The little fat one's still got a little piece of dodgy washi tape stuck to it, so it will be okay. Let's see how we go with this long stringy one. I think I wiggled it before, so all right. Have you all been online and seen that there's a whole heap of new online exclusive items available? We're getting more and more of them, which is really cool. And they're there until they're there, essentially. That's much better. Okay. Now, I will cut, while I'm here, because we know every good card likes a little bit of bling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, this cuts perfectly, okay? I'm going to cut a piece of this as a, I'll leave a little bit of an edge along it because then I know what I want to do with that. It's thick. You can feel how much thicker extra thick it is because of the adhesive, but the dies just go through it like it's butter anyway. So even the intricate dies, you might need to go through twice with an intricate die, just to make sure. But with the regular, like with the fairly open dies, I think we used to call them framelets, so because they were framing rather than being intricate, it just cuts things out so beautiful. And now I've got this nice edge that I can strip off there and I can use for something else. Let me just put these away so I don't lose them, because I'm really good at doing that and I don't have my magnetic base on here with me. Okay, so I'll pop a Merry Christmas on inside of the card. Yep, I will. I was going to say I won't if I don't have it. And we'll do that in Pretty Peacock as well. It's such a pretty font. I really like a lot of fonts. Okay. So that bit's going to go on the inside of our card. So we can just shove that in there. Now you'll notice that these two here are the same size, which is no use to us whatsoever. However, what you can do, you can either cut it with your trimmer, which I've actually got a special trimmer that I use for anything that's glimmery, because it seems to blunt the blades a lot quicker. Cut it upside down if you're cutting it on a trimmer and you don't have the option of doing it using a different blade. Or because of what I want to do, I've got my snips here. I'm going to cut it in half. And because you're not going to be able to see this dodgy cut that I'm doing, I'm just using my snips. All right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame the top and the bottom just to make it that little bit bigger. All right, do you see what I mean? You don't have to put the bottom on, but you can. All right, so I'll just put a bit of adhesive on here. Well, a lot of adhesive on here. Didn't want that much. Glimmer takes a little bit longer to dry when you're sticking it to the glimmer. So we'll just make sure that we're giving it the chance to do it before we go playing around with it. So I'm going to put this bit up the top. Make sure it's straight. Make sure you've got even amounts on both sides. And this bit down the bottom. And again, do the same thing. Make sure you've got an even amount down the bottom, similar to what you've got up the top. It just looks better. Oops. You can use your double-sided tear and tape if that's what you prefer. I will admit that liquid glue is my preferred adhesive. My girls think it's hilarious, and a lot of them now it's their preferred. It just gives you a lot more flexibility. Okay, so that's our sign, and it's going to sit. You can sit it lower, you can sit it higher, you can sit it wherever you want actually, but I'm actually going to sit it up higher than our break, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some of these leaves down under here because I've got so many of them, and I've got some silver ribbon. All right, so what I'm going to do is move this to the side so it can dry, and with your tear tape, because I know where I'm going to stick my sentiment, I'm going to put some tear tape on it. Okay, and I'm going to put a couple of rows of it because that's going to cover it. And what I'm sticking here, underneath here, is actually, doesn't want to play. I'm going to use it to stick on my ribbon. All right. Now it's up to you whether you. This is a ribbon, so it doesn't sit like twine does. It's not round like twine does. You can loop it if you want, but it doesn't sit as nice. You can even fray this one, and you'll end up with a white fluffy sort of stuff, plus the silver that's threaded through it. This one, I'm thinking what I might do is actually just go backwards and forwards with it. All right. Backwards and forwards gives you a very nice effect. It's very loopy. There's two different sides on this, so you end up with both sides being featured, but don't cut it off. The reason why I'm not cutting it off is I want to make sure it's going to look all right underneath my sentiment. And I'm not overly excited about it because it's fairly even. So let me have another play. And it moves off here quite beautifully. I just want it up here. Like, I know I want it up there. So let me see what it looks like if I just do this. And that's one of the good fun things that you can do when you're just playing with the ribbon and you've just got it sitting there on some tape, is you can decide what you like. Do I want it to just come out up there? What do you reckon? It's pretty ribbon. It's very, very pretty ribbon. And then a couple of these up there with that. Looks like it's all loop-de-loop. I do think it needs to be in both spots, but I think I've come to that conclusion. All right. Let's see how I'm going to do this. Go a loop-de-loop here. Oops. I think my tear tape's getting a bit used. One loop-to-loop. And maybe I had too much. Let's see. We'll see what this looks like instead. I'm still sitting on the fence, guys. I need something that's just twirly, I think. That's too bulky. It doesn't work. Okay. We are going with a smaller loop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it back a bit. Okay. And we're going to cover it up a little bit with some of these. All right. So once you've decided how you want your ribbon, to secure it, you can put another piece of tape over the top, or you can use this piece here. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece here, and somewhere over here on my table are my dimensionals. It's really important that the sentiment sits on here without essentially sitting on the ribbon. We need it on the cardboard. Okay, so by doing it, I normally would stick it on the other side. Come on. By doing it that way, we're convincing it to stay put. Try and make sure it's in the middle. Okay. Now I've got these pieces here still. All right, and I thought I had 5. I do have 5. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be 3 up the top, and that's going to be 2 big ones and a little one. And then I've got 2 little ones for down the bottom. Actually, let's trade one of them out. One of those for one of those. Okay, these are going to need dimensionals because of the ribbon. Okay, I didn't bring any mini dimensionals over with me, so I will be using the bits that are tweaked off them. Okay. All right. Okay. Because then, all right, so see how that's going to need a little piece just in underneath there. So depending on where you want to sit it with your ribbon depends on where you put your dimensionals. Okay, because again, the same as with the sentiment, we don't want these sitting on, the dimensional doesn't stick as well to the ribbon. It sticks so much better to a piece of cardstock. And then it sort of holds our ribbon in place for us because it's like it's sandwiched in between it. Right. Okay. And we're going to do the same with these, but I am just going to stick that one there. That's the dud one. I don't want the dud one. There's the other good one. This one cannot be salvaged. We're just going to throw it away. Okay. So this big one here, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put it down here at the bottom because when I shove it in, the other piece it'll land where it needs to land up higher. And I'm going to put it in underneath this ribbon. All right. Because these two guys are going to sit above it with our dimensional sitting halfway over. Okay. And our dimensional is going to sit up the top of this one. Also, it needs to be one of these pieces because they're small. Your minis are so much better for this. Note to self, add mini dimensionals to the next order. Stick that under there and that one under there. Okay. All it needs now is some bling. Is what I'm thinking. But I didn't bring it to the table, so let me just grab it. Hopefully it's easy to find and really quick, but it's not looking good. I've got it here somewhere. Let me grab this. No, it's hiding. So I've got to contain, oh, it's hiding. It's hiding in plain sight. It was here at the table all along. Okay. These are our adhesive back sparkle gems. They come in black, silver and gold in this particular one. And they're so pretty. There's 2 different sizes. How many's in here? 120. Can never have enough sparkle. So I'm going to put some down here. And I might put 2 up the top because we need an odd number. I could do one, just 1 up the top, but I won't. And I might use another big one. Turn this baby around. The flatter edge works better under the gems. Oops. And we'll just stick that one there. How pretty does that turn out? So, and now we've got some extra pieces that we can use for lots of different things. It did turn out pretty, didn't it? Now, there's something's pretty, but you can always go along and you can put, because our Winter Stella is clear, you can actually add some sparkle to your designer series paper. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Add some sparkle to your designer series paper with your Winter Stella. So these look like cherries, but they also look like pomegranates. So I'm not actually sure what they are. My daughter that loves pomegranates would say pomegranates. But just for a little, there's something special about a little bit of sparkle in everything. And I know you guys won't be able to see the sparkle on the video. It'll be just too hard, but it's there and I can see it. So, and the person that's going to get this card will be able to see it. But you don't have to be neat because it's sparkle. Can't have enough sparkle. You can put a little bit, just a little bit in here. It's going to dry clear. It does give a little bit of a, what's the word for it? Like when you put it on, there's a little bit of a wet spot, but it dries clear. So how is that? What do you think of that? Very Christmassy out of some winter paper. That wasn't really that Christmassy at all. I'm really happy with how that one turned out. So, and of course, there's our envelope to go with it, and our inside matches. Oh, we haven't glued it in. All right, so what's coming up? Well, this weekend I've got retreat. The weekend after I've got a stamp stack. I've got my Thursday lives that are going to continue. Coming up in December, if you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order. So if you're not a demonstrator and you want to pre-order the stuff from the Celebration catalogue because you just can't wait, or you want to see it because that's probably the only way you're going to see it early, then that is also a good idea. It's a great time to join just so that you can do that. But there's so many things coming up. Oh, thank you. It's a nice way to do it. So there's so many things coming up. The celebration starts in January. We've still got some time to make more Christmas cards. I've still got probably about another 30 to 50 Christmas cards that I need to make. So this is getting added to my Christmas card stash. It's such an easy card that I potentially will do quite a few more of these. They're easy and they're fun. And they're really quite effective. And as you can tell, it didn't take long. We've been hanging out here for just over an hour, but I talk a lot. So, you know, I will be back next Thursday. Like I said, there's lots of things coming up in the Stampin' Up world. If you're not already a demonstrator, you can join for $169 and get $235 worth of product free. If you join in December, as much as I'd like to say join now, but if you join in December, you can join, put pre-order things into your cart or into your kit. So that's something to keep in mind. There are 2 great joining specials that start in January though. So if you're sitting on the shelf and you're thinking that you might want to join, just keep an eye out of it and see what's coming up leading up to January so that you're ready to jump in then. If you're in Australia and you would like a catalogue that's coming up, I will be getting some of those in early December, and I'm more than happy to pop them into the mail for you so that you can get a paper copy in your hot little hand before they go live at the beginning of January. Just pop a message in the comments if you'd like one of those, or flick me a message via Facebook or YouTube, whichever one floats your boat. And then I can get that happening. So that's for those people that are in Australia. Sorry, Deb, over in Texas. For those people that are overseas, Stampin' Up is in your market. You can use the demonstrator locator on the demonstrator portal. So just go into stampinup.com. In Australia, it's .com.au, .com in the other countries, and then just put, I need to find a demonstrator. There's a button up the top. You do need to know a demonstrator to be able to shop in the online store, just saying. So if anyone needs one in Australia, you're more than welcome to use my name. It's Courtney. I'm the only Courtney spelt this particular way in on the Australian demonstrator website. But if you put Court, C-O-U-R-T, my last name's Houston, and are you a demo as well, Deb? Sweet. It's nice to be able to get the perks, isn't it? So those people that are shopping in Texas, Deb's a demo, and if you pop in her name, you'll probably be able to find her. You probably could get away with putting Deb B in there and see if she comes up. So you can use that if you want to use our names, you're more than welcome to. And so that you can shop to your heart's content in the online store, or you're most welcome to join under us. We're always welcoming new team members because it's great to find people that are in their like-minded community. And I think that's important at the moment. So on that note, thinking about communities, I've got to go and finish packing up more of these goodies and getting some things happening. And I think I did see a little person walk past. She's waving at you all. Not really little. I'm the shortest in the house these days. I will see you all next week, same place, same back channel, as they say, and have a great week, everyone. Toodaloo. Happy shopping, happy stamping. Bye.